2.1 recommendation.
That council adopt the agenda as presented.
Can I get a seconder?
Second.
Discussion?
The fire hall plans. I'm missing something. No, missing the fire hall floor plans presented on January 8th. In the January 20th agenda, there was a motion carried unanimously to have these plans included because a resolution and decisions were made regarding the expansion based on the plans.
Okay. I will attach them. Attach them? Yeah. All in favor? Adoption of minutes, 3.1.
The council adopt the minutes from a regular council meeting held on January 20th, 2021.
Can I get a seconder? Second. Discussion?
These minutes were adopted on February 17th.
No, you aren't.
Hmm?
You guys asked for them to be brought back.
The same ones?
Because you wanted a change done to the January 20th regarding your statement. That wasn't your statement.
Oh,
But instead of changing those minutes, we made an amendment on the February 17th one that states that what you said about the 9% and then about your notes not being a statement or it's your notes.
okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All in favor? 3.2 recommendation.
The council adopt the minutes from a regular council meeting held on February the 17th, 2021.
Can I get a seconder?
Second.
Is this not the one that has the motion?
Pardon me?
Isn't this the one that motion?
No.
No?
March 7th.
Discussion? All in favor? 3.3 recommendation.
The council adopt the minutes from a special council meeting held on February the 20th,
It's that one.
2021.
Can I get a second?
No.
That's the one.
Second. Discussion?
I'd like to make a motion to strike from the record 3.3.
Can I get a second on that?
Second.
All in favor? 3.4 recommendation.
The council adopt the minutes of the special council meeting held on February 22nd, 2021.
Can I get a seconder? Second. Discussion? All in favor? 3.5 recommendation.
The council adopt the minutes from the special council meeting held on March the 1st, 2021.
Can I have a seconder? Second. Discussion?
Yes. On page 59, I'm not sure which agenda this correspondence should be in.
That's the one.
Page 59.
That is the statement that Richard Minot made.
Brought in for Tammy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
social nations.
Yeah, and it's noted on the agenda. After this, Richard Minot stood up and read
He passed
statements.
it around to us on, he gave,
Well, I gave you this number.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just clarifying. Thank you.
Bart?
On page, on there, it says, Doig River First Nations opened the meeting with a song. I would like to say with a prayer. And that Puskabee is on the Treaty 8 property. Treaty 8. They
All in
did say
favor?
that.
Okay, 3.6 recommendation. The council adopt the minutes for the regular meeting of council held on March 3rd, 2021. Can I get a seconder?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Introducing late items, Carla Whalen Ruffelt, 9.15 Community Recovery, 9.16 Danielle Beach's letter. There's no public hearing and the delegations. Carla Whalen, which one would like to go first? I'll go first.
It says delegations none.
It's a delegation.
Delegation.
Hi, my name is Carla.
You can take your,
Lorraine and I do have the same last name. It is Hanson. And I am proud to say she is my auntie.
told I shouldn't speak out on this subject, and it is not my place because I am white. I thought who better than to speak on behalf of my auntie. I have known her for 43 years. My auntie has come to my rescue many times, and I would be who I am or where I am today without her. My auntie does not care what color your skin is. If you knock on her door at 3 a.m., she will answer it and she will help. My auntie's character is under attack by a man named Richard Minot. I remember not many years ago sitting at a table with him and being called a white bitch, along with other racial comments. This has gone too far. We are all not innocent here. We have all made many mistakes. And I think we can all learn from this. Everyone from every race needs to show a little more love and compassion. Thank you for taking the time to hear me speak.
Good evening, council. My name is Waylon. I'm here to speak on behalf of Mayor McKetty, whom I have known for 25 years. In all this time, I've never known her to be a racist towards anyone or make racial comments. She is the aunt to my wife and a great aunt to my children, whom from me share native ancestry. My mother is a treaty member of the Capiwano First Nations in Gruar, Alberta. And never once in all this time has a racial comment been said to me or my children or my family. The fact of the matter is that the post on Facebook that has people in such an uproar has been misconstrued and misperceived as a racial comment. Nowhere at any time on this post does it say who these houses belong to or who or where they are located. This in no way justifies being called a racist or being asked to resign. In the end, whatever is done to or said about Lorraine McKetty in these days is not stopping or resolving any real racism issues. My name is Waylon, and I am a proud Métis and a proud family member of Lorraine McKetty.
Business, oh, sorry. 9.15, community recovery. You can
Where's-
hear.
I have numbers, oh, okay.
Then we'll go to the back of those. You want to speak?
Okay,
No, we'll go back to that.
where are we on the agenda?
Are we staying inside?
Why are you putting it on?
It is, unfinished business arising.
I have something from unfinished business arising from there. Okay, we made a motion, unanimous motion for the mayor to step down from,
Can I ask you one, just hold till Chris gets here?
okay, we made the motion that we asked, I'm Barbie, I can't find the exact motion, that the mayor step down from all boards and committees and public representation, and it was a unanimous vote. I would like to go through her portfolios and appoint people to deal with those portfolios in public.
No, I'm still can do meetings. It's the committees that I can't go on or the boards, but I can still do meetings.
What?
Sandy?
There is a section for us to address the council portfolios in the agenda this week.
Yes, I realize that.
You want to do it right now?
Yeah.
What page is it, Sandy?
Uh, 8.1, page 80.
So you're not taking my portfolio to make me Barb. So if you think you are, I can attend meetings that
does not say on that, but I'm not allowed to attend meetings. It's committees and boards.
Committees and boards.
The intent of the motion was that you don't speak out in public,
And public duties.
in public duties. That was the intent.
Can I have a copy of that, Sandy? Where did that be?
I'm looking it up right now.
Because I never got a copy of that. And I don't speak out in public.
That would have been February 20th.
Yeah, I'm just,
It's in the agenda.
I'm scrolling through it.
Find it, so you know. Jenny's all screwed up.
See, it's too big.
Yeah, Sandy, go ahead and read what's in the agenda.
Oh, I haven't found it
In
yet.
the minutes.
Did you find it? Where? Should be in January 20th.
February 20th.
February 20th?
Yeah.
Isn't it the 17th?
Okay, here, no, it'll be the 20th. So the motion was, motion by Councillor Drover, seconded by Councillor White, that council remove Mayor McKay from all committees and boards that she sits on and remove her from all public duties. Carried unanimously.
Public duties, but I'm still allowed to attend meetings. Because Chris, you contacted the lawyer on that.
Your worship, I contacted the lawyer with respect to your ability to vote in your other mayoral duties. If council needs further clarification, we'll have to bring that back to the lawyers.
Yes, you will need clarification.
So all these portfolios are on hold until we vote?
Yeah.
So you will not be attending the health council? Did you attend the Zoom meeting today?
Yeah, I did.
At 2 o'clock?
Yeah, I did.
After that motion?
Pardon?
After the motion?
It was a meeting.
It was a meeting, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a meeting.
I was under the understanding I was allowed meetings. I wasn't allowed to be on boards and committees.
Public, what was it?
Public.
Public duties.
It is that council remove Mayor McKetty from all committees and boards that she sits on and remove her from all public duties.
Well, that's not public duties. That was a meeting. I'm out in the public.
Excuse me, we're COVID, and it's a public meeting, there was other people participating.
No, there wasn't. There was me and Chris sitting on Zoom.
But there was other people, were they not?
Yeah.
So that's the way we do public meetings during COVID?
I think that there's a confusion about why our mayor is in this position. And it isn't, liking you is not on our agenda. That isn't what this council is about.
Like you.
Well, we have so many people coming in here and they're all voicing their opinion about how much they like you. And I'm perfectly fine with people liking you. That is not what this council is here for. We have this meeting delayed until after there were public posts from other places in and around this region. And we held our meeting.
Without an investigation.
We saw what was on there.
Still wasn't an investigation.
What do you call that?
We needed to do an investigation. There should have been an investigation done.
An investigation?
Code of conduct does not say that.
No,
Our policies do.
but it was code of conduct that put us here.
Okay,
It isn't a matter of liking you.
it doesn't matter. My portfolios are my portfolios. I am not giving up the fire department. I'm not giving up the ones that I do. I don't do those other ones. Ken is doing those other ones. Anyway, so we're tabling this, Sandy?
Well,
I don't think we can table it.
so 8.1 was actually to address Councillor Drover's portfolios, not
Exactly.
Mayor's portfolios. So this is a completely different thing that you're talking about right now. This isn't even on the agenda.
I know, but it is business arising from the minutes.
But it was supposed
That
to
we
be
didn't
Chris.
define what our motion was.
Was that not supposed to go through you to unfinished business arising?
Usually it's supposed to. Yes.
Okay.
And I think at this time, with all this is going on, we can't table this. We need, and I just want somebody, okay, if you get an email and it is not one of these portfolios, it gets sent to the acting mayor, and she will decide if she can attend or direct counsel for someone to attend if something comes up. Because that is committee and board and public. And the protocol should be,
Sandy, go ahead.
Most meeting invites that come in for the mayor don't come to me. I don't get hardly any of them. She just forwards them to me. They go directly to her. So how do I monitor that?
You can't,
This is a
because it's on
very
my personal email.
precarious position.
so what are you saying, that motion isn't worth anything?
The committees and boards?
And public?
That our council should not have made that motion.
CAO?
No, I would disagree. But again, it's council's motion, and it's up to council to determine how exactly you guys direct us to proceed with that. The motion does contain some fairly succinct language that Mayor McKetty be removed from all public boards and committees she sits on and remove her from public duties. Now that's council's will. The corporate officer and I cannot intervene in the mayor's statutory rights as mayor.
And it was
So you need
unanimously.
Was it unanimous, Don?
Yes.
So you need to, I want legal opinion on that, Chris.
The reasoning behind me was I wanted her to stay out of the public eye for a while until everything calmed down.
Well, I don't.
Well, no, because it's difficult for us to do business outside of this community.
Well, I'm
Why?
just saying, that
Why?
Because of all the statements that have come from all the different communities in this region.
Yeah, and I deal with Leonard all the time.
we're not talking about Lori. There's Lori and there's Brad and there's
Yeah, and I talk to
Treaty
them all
8.
the time.
I know you talked to them all the time. Okay.
They've had to do that to cover their butts.
That's not the point.
No, this is a place of business, and they are in a place of doing business.
Anyway, Chris, you get a legal opinion on that before?
Can we go
touch
ahead
my-
and do that? And
No,
if
you're
we-
not touching my portfolios until we have legal
If
opinion.
we get legal advice that we can't, then we don't. But until that, because the mayor is just gonna go to meetings and get invitations and do what she wants.
Legal opinion.
To answer Councillor Smith's question, if I'm not mistaken, the portfolios are assigned by vote of council, are they not?
No, they're by the
They
mayor.
signed by the mayor?
Like that name.
So,
Okay? I did my due diligence.
Anyway. 7.1 recommendation?
That council approves a letter of support to be sent to the district of Saanich in regards to the work they are doing on the actions to address the overdose crisis.
Can I get a second here?
Second.
Discussion? Chris, can you write a letter on this? In support?
Didn't we already?
It is.
It's me, it isn't here, that's what it is.
All in favor? 7.2 recommendation?
That council received response email from the Ministry of Transportation and Infrastructure and Information.
Second.
Discussion?
Is that the one about the speed limit?
Yes, speed limit and, did you put the lights on?
No, I did not. I just put speed.
Because Steve's gonna check his inventory for the lighting over the top of the highway.
Yeah, no, I didn't put on, I just put the one.
So he is doing that.
That might all mixed up now.
So, all in favor? 7.3 recommendation?
So we can't do anything about that one?
Hold on.
About the speed limits and that?
No, they won't change it.
They can't change it.
Can we make a motion that they keep it better maintained then?
Well, I think that's through discussion with our,
Yeah.
that they're maintaining it, making it a priority.
Yes, because it's a danger. I mean, I could back up all the way back to my house. I can't get up the hill because guys have been stuck on that hill.
Talk to Steve about that, and he's gonna get after that.
Yeah.
Okay, so 7.3 recommendation?
That council received a response email regarding the winter walking challenge as information.
Can I get a seconder?
Second.
Discussion? Sandy, did you, talk to the guy about that?
So this is the response email from him.
Mm-hmm.
All I need is council's motion to proceed and he will start working on it. Basically, what we have to do is provide prizes and hook him up with somebody that knows the area really well to do trails and where people can go hiking and stuff, and it doesn't cost us anything.
Does Al Cameron still work with us?
What about less?
I was thinking Moran.
That's
They go hiking,
Yeah.
they go hiking and skiing and all over the place.
So Les can't hobble around, like he can't get around, right? So
They don't have to hike, they don't actually have to do the hiking.
Just have to-
Just tell them where the locations are that people like to hike in Moose.
Oh, okay.
And I figured her and Dwayne are the best because they're always out there doing, you know.
Walking.
Yeah. So I just need a motion from council to proceed
And
and
he's doing the motion.
I'll
No,
second.
and your prizes, are they gonna come from that COVID money, that?
it depends where you tell me and you have to give me a budget.
Yeah, we can, don't you think? Yeah, we're gonna do
Okay,
that.
so Marlene's making the motion to proceed, who's seconding?
Yes,
I will.
And a $2,500 budget.
We have to, is that
Well,
how
that's
much
big.
it's gonna cost?
What
No,
are they? Like, what are the prizes?
whatever we decide. It can be like swag from our, what we've got left, or we buy a couple of new things we've got, some
Or gift
tubes.
certificates or something?
Or some gift certificates, or,
Butcher block, mom.
yeah,
So those.
whatever we make it.
So it depends on how many people.
Yeah, and they just kind of do it, and then there's an end date to do it, and then they discuss the prizes, and then there's kind of a little award thing that they do online.
oh, neat,
It's all virtual, it's not, nobody has to be, it's all COVID safe, and
yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So how much are you gonna give her? Since I said it was too much.
I don't even know how you play this game.
What do you think is an estimated price?
Yeah,
I personally think $1,000 is more than enough.
okay.
Okay, for prizes.
All in favor? Recommendation that council receive the fire department survey for discussion and approve.
Second,
Discussion.
I personally did not like it at all.
No.
So we will table that one.
So what do you need to change it?
What do you want to see changed?
Area D, no questions about Area D.
Yeah, but we use the fire hall.
We,
I'm in Area D, and the fire department comes to me. I have to pay for taxes for it. Right?
I asked for the village survey.
Well, this is for everybody. This fire hall is for everybody.
Is Area D putting in money for the fire hall expansion?
Yes,
will
he
be,
is. He said he'd give us $25,000 for the,
How much?
$25,000 for the engineering plan. He did tell you guys that night.
Okay, but that's not enough money for me.
So that was just for the engineering
That
plan.
was just for the engineering.
Yeah, I know.
Chris?
Thanks, Your Worship. I believe Councillor Smith may be correct. As the village council, we probably should not be surveying residents of Area D.
I think we should just table this one because
Word.
we have a nice little late item here that should be addressed before we go back to that.
So,
Okay.
just to clarify, Your Worship, if it's tabled, we can't issue the survey until council gives us direction as to what to change on.
Then take Area D out then.
Just remove all reference of Area D.
That's what you want.
I didn't like the write-up at all either.
No. And you know what? Like,
So why don't we table it and then have a discussion on exactly what we have, because we have a budget we gotta do tonight.
I understand that, but I mean, I'm sure this isn't the biggest deal under the sun. It's not gonna take long. Number one, Poughkeepsie Volunteer Fire Department submitted the statement. This one on page 76. They released it on Facebook prior to this meeting, and this was supposed to be a draft survey that was supposed to be coming to us, not out to the public first.
Only the write-up went on, not the survey.
Yeah, I realize that, but it was supposed to come to us. It says that council direct administration to draft a survey to hear from the residents how they feel about a fire hall expansion. The survey should include all pertinent information pertaining to this expansion. As well, it should include all that the fire department does for the village. A draft. And it was put on Facebook before it hit this council. And I mean, that's just a small beef on my part. And some of the language, without a fire department located within a certain distance from your home, your fire insurance could increase by 50% or more. Now, this village finances and supports their volunteer fire department. They love it. It's been here since before I was born, our volunteer fire department. Not a problem. But this is almost a veiled threat. And it's offensive to me. And it almost sounds like, is this what we do for the village? Or is it something that we're going to do to the village? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Chris?
Thank you, Worship. The motion and the direction was clear that all pertinent information we were to attempt to include in that. Councillor Hebert?
Yeah, I understand. I'm not saying that it's.
And I think what the fire department was attempting to capture there was all of the additional activities they do above and beyond simply being, responsive to emergencies.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, but I mean, I just wanted the survey to reflect genuine facts from council to taxpayers. Something friendly, some easy read, not percentages and what could happen to you if you don't. That kind of thing. Like, when was the fire hall built?
2008, 2009.
Why is the expansion necessary? Costs then and now. How many households does the fire department serve? Just good
Well,
old
then that would
fashioned
be-
facts that people can just pick up, have an easy read, and it's very understandable.
Then that would also include the regional district, because we do put out fires for the regional district. We have a MOU with Tom's Lake. We are working on an MOU with Gunny. So.
And are they all putting in money?
No.
For the expansion? This is
PRD
about,
is,
this is about the expansion.
PRD is, and
Okay.
the money that is coming for that expansion is a grant. It's all grant money.
Is that a guarantee?
We don't know,
don't
if
know
it's-
yet, because-
we don't even know if we got the money yet, so we're not even doing anything yet.
So what's the survey supposed to be based on?
I have no idea.
Does it have any purpose?
You guys asked for it. What was your purpose for asking for this survey? You
So then-
two decided.
Well, I said a referendum or a petition.
Is
How did I
because
get
you
the survey?
want to,
Excuse me. Where did we get the survey from?
You said, how about a survey? And I said, sure.
So here we are. So let's table the survey until we find out if we have the grants, and then we can bring this back. Because meantime, we don't know how much money we're going to spend on that, because we don't even know how much money we're going to get for a grant. And
And we're not gonna get the grant unless we get the engineered plans.
No,
no,
we don't, that was gonna be separate.
that was separate. That was separate.
We wanted to do that just in case that funding didn't come through. There was other funding that was gonna be available, so we wanted to have it ahead of time.
And so this building is going to be built, and then what will it cost?
We don't know if it's gonna be built.
Okay, let's say we have a fire hall expansion. How much do we pay for heating, lighting, all of the things that we need for this? Just what we need is just a volunteer fire department. That's all we need. But you're saying we need something bigger, expanded. What will that cost us? I mean, give us a rough
Well,
estimate.
first of all, we're gonna have water bays in there to wash the public works stuff, so we're not washing stuff over in the public works yard. That's what Blair wanted. We need training room, because they're outgrowing that, training room.
No.
Go upstairs and see.
That's because the fire chief has got his offices put up there now, right?
He's got his office up there, yeah, because we have the RCMP in this building.
Well, that's what I'm saying. All we require as a village is the volunteer fire department. We don't really require the police to be there,
Wow.
the office. We don't require that. That is not part of the basic requirement of us as a village.
It's safety. The RCMP is safety. Fire hall is safety.
How much time does a volunteer, how our fire
They're there
or
once a day.
police? They're once a day there.
Yeah.
For how much time? I want to know the amount of time that they
Read
spend
your
here.
report. You have a police report. You get a police report, everyone?
But it doesn't say how much time they spend here.
no, it doesn't.
Chris, since I'm not allowed to talk in public, could you maybe call the staff sergeant and find out that information?
Yeah.
And do we really need it? There's the baseline.
Yeah, we do.
I've seen them stopping quite a few people around here.
In Coos.
Yeah.
We need it right now. We just did the drug bust.
But they didn't come out of that office, the police car, and go arrest somebody.
They have. Anyway, now where am I?
You wanted to table this.
Table it, please. Can I get a motion to table this?
I'll make a motion.
Seconder? All in favor?
Who seconded, sorry?
Donna?
No, she motioned.
I made a motion.
You made a second.
I'll second.
All in favor? Okay, new business 8.1, that Mayor McKinney's assignments for former Councillor Drover portfolio committees to other members of council. Seconder, please. And your seconder?
One of the oil and gas ones was through Leonard, wasn't it?
No, this is Ovintiv, Oil and Gas Commission's Ovintiv. So Councillor Drover was food bank, who wants that? Not everybody jump up once.
I'll take the food bank.
So Marlene takes the food bank. He was a school alternate.
I'll do that too.
South Peace Health. Oil and gas, courtesy matters. Oil and gas. Courtesy matters. You
I'm
want it?
not speaking up, am I?
So you don't want it.
No.
So what do you want?
Do I have to?
Well, you should have a portfolio. You get paid $10,500
I have
a
a
year.
portfolio.
You should take some of it. Until we get somebody in here. Don't you take oil and cruise matters?
I don't know how to do it, but I'll give it a shot.
You just go there to the meeting. This is on Zoom.
Okay.
And they tell you what's going on.
Okay.
Okay. And then BC oil and gas you don't need to. I said the BC oil and gas you don't need to. Okay.
Sorry, Your Worship, we're not clear on the BC oil and gas.
The BC oil and gas is just gas commission, and that you get that through the regional district. Don will get that
So
information.
that's Councillor Wade.
Yeah.
Okay.
.2 recommendation.
That council review both the last Cooskoopi joint use agreement and the current joint user agreement, and that council adopt the new Cooskoopi joint user agreement.
Okay, seconder?
Second,
Discussion.
yes. Let's see if I find this first page.
Did you find differences?
Pardon?
Differences?
Well, there are things on there that I want to question here. Article 3, 3.2, smoke free, 3.22 and 3.23. Now, this seems to be quite intensive, that they have the provincial legislation, Bill 10, prohibits smoking on all properties owned by School District 59, and that is not different. Any party renting the facilities must be committed to enforce the no smoking restriction as written into and acknowledged through the signing of the rental agreement. And this policy extends to smoking in parked vehicles on school property and use of other tobacco products, including chewing tobacco. So, signage.
Isn't there supposed to be a distance of them to be away from the school?
No, you cannot do it on the property, period. So, to me, it kind of conflicts with a community center that you're having for a wedding or whatever.
Yeah.
And if such is the case, like we're going to be treating this like a hospital property, so shouldn't there be extensive signage like at the entrances to the property? And
But that's not their property.
yeah, I know, but I mean, shouldn't they be putting up this signage?
They
This
should
is
be.
what I'm asking. And who's going to enforce all of this?
Yeah.
Oh, so we have a community event, like, are we hiring people to go out there to make sure that this is happening? Like, this is pretty gray in here for me.
So the school board wrote this?
Yeah,
This
this is
is
the school
from the
board's
district,
agreement.
yeah.
Okay, so
What was in the old one? Was it the same in the old one? I can't remember. I read it so many times.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
So
And then-
been going through this one for how many years, the same one? We've been using it, and we've had no issues?
Last 2 or 3 of them, please.
Well, in the old one, and then both, let's see.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah,
it's the
that's
same.
true, other than they've increased the, no, they haven't even done that.
Nope, it looks the same on.
So should we get clarification on this? Like,
Yeah.
who's responsible for this? Or just leave it as is and just carry on and see what happens?
Is there no, there is no signage there, is there? No.
No.
There is no signage, is there? Well, I'm thinking that, you know, if they don't have anything like that, I mean, somebody decides to have a cigarette and they don't know about the fact that they can't.
But isn't there a sign right at the door that says no smoking?
I don't know.
Right,
I
right
think
by those
it's
garbage
small though, but I mean, I'm saying it's something that's visible. I mean, you got
Yeah, and
people
the fact
going,
that they can get fined, right?
well, exactly.
bins? Your hair is-
Huh?
your hair is-
Well, thank you. The fact that they can be fined, I think that that's a good idea. We need a bigger sign at the entrance to the community center saying no smoking allowed.
Can you make that motion?
Yes, I'll make the motion. And also about the fine.
Yeah, like, who's going to be,
Well, that would be up to, do we have even that in our bylaw? Like, that's,
Your worship, the bylaw officer does not police every community event that's held at the community
that's,
center.
so.
no.
Well, I mean, if we post signage, then we're doing our due diligence, aren't we?
But we can we post signage on their property?
And we had to put it on the wall of the community center. I guess we have to find out if we can post a sign.
Yeah.
And you're the school guy.
Okay,
And I was wondering, like, I mean, oh, it doesn't matter. At what cost and to whom the responsibilities. And then under Article 5, district responsibilities, we needed to negotiate the return of our mudroom and our coat room.
well, that was the school person that was supposed to be doing that, but he resigned.
Yeah, I understand that, but I mean, it's not under district responsibilities even, so.
So, what do you guys plan on doing now? You're gonna put a sign up?
Well, we gotta find out if we're allowed to first.
Okay.
Or if the district's responsible for it, I don't know, but I mean, it should be, there should be
So can I get a motion?
visible.
Can I get a motion on the floor and Chris can call the school board tomorrow?
Make a motion.
You're not,
Are we allowed to post signage to the back of 3.2?
3.2.
Yeah, and 3.23. The fact that they'd be fines.
Who's seconding?
Second.
All in favor? 8.3
Oh,
recommendation?
I still, we haven't answered Councillor Hewitt's question about the mudroom and coat room.
Chris was gonna ask him.
Nope, the motion, your worship, was just for the signage here at this point.
What we sign. So do you want to bring that one up, Mom?
Sandy, we had a motion on the last, not the last meeting, the meeting before, for Councillor Drover we were gonna draw a letter of all the issues, and the school person was going to go to the school and discuss the coat room, the boot room, and everything that we wanted back. So
With
that
Amanda?
kind of is an outstanding motion.
With Amanda?
I believe so.
So you're gonna do that?
Yeah.
So you got that on record there, Sandy, that Marlene's gonna do that? Okay. 8.3 recommendation?
Oh, the council discussed the PRRD rule.
Seconded? Barb seconded.
Okay.
Okay, discuss the PRRD rule.
Well, this one is very precarious,
Why is it very precarious?
and thought that we should appoint a new director.
And why?
And,
She's going.
hmm,
She's going. Donna's going.
Donna's going. But she's an alternate, but we need a director.
And I'm the director.
You're the director.
Yes, I'm the director.
So, when a code of conduct thing comes up and you're asked for your resignation and taken off committees and so on and so forth, it doesn't mean anything, right?
I'm still the director. I don't attend the meetings. Donna's attending the meetings.
She's, how long are we going to do this for?
I don't know. How long are we gonna?
A year
2
and a
years?
half?
2 years?
I think that we're pretty dysfunctional now. I'd like
Why?
to get this over with. Why?
Donna's doing the job just for this time.
I make the motion that we remove the Director McKetty as on the Peace River Regional District Board. I need a seconder. and discussion.
Second.
In discussion.
Can I say no? Donna? What do you say?
No, I'll just stay as alternate.
But you voted for that motion
I know.
to remove from boards.
I know.
Okay. So, are we gonna vote? So what if it's a stalemate?
It's a stalemate. Chris?
Thanks, Your Worship. Further to that, the section of the Local Government Act is clear that before the director can be officially removed, another new director has to be nominated.
Exactly. So it's a stalemate.
Nobody's voted yet.
Hmm?
Nobody's voted
It's a
yet.
stalemate because Donna's not voting against it and I'm not voting against it. So it's a stalemate. I stay as director, Donna stays as alternate.
Woman can vote.
Donna plays alternate.
I guess that's what we're
Motion defeated.
Thanks for speaking for me. Motion defeated. 8.4 recommendation.
The council received the budget proposal for general government, public health and welfare, recreation, and environmental health for discussion.
Can I get a seconder?
Second. So, Chris? When was the truck decommissioned? When did that truck go down?
Which trip?
Which truck?
The garbage truck.
Last year.
Do you remember? It was early, wasn't it?
Yeah, just apologies before I'm going through my agenda package. I don't
Am I on the wrong page?
You're on 111. What don't you have?
the budget for general government.
What do you mean? You're on
Environmental health.
8.4, 111.
This one. Oh. You got it?
There's a spreadsheet.
You're way ahead of us.
Did you give it to me? To provide council with the first and third planning operation budget presentation background for the 2021-2025 budget cycle, the final budget adoption and fourth reading must be made by May 14, 2021. Therefore, Finance will be presenting two operational budget sections and then the final full operation and capital budget on the following dates. March 3rd, 2021, Capital and Special Projects 1. March 17th, 2021, Capital and Special Projects 2. B, Operating Budget 1. April 7th, 2021, Operating Budget 2. B, Tax Rates 2021. April 21st, 2021, Final Complete Budget and Draft Bylaw. Administration is now working to propose the operational spending limits for the year. This report and the attached financial information containing the proposal for the following sections for the operational budget. General government and administration finance, town hall operations, increase of 126 from 2020 level. Public health and welfare, animal control, bylaw, cemetery, decrease of 3680 for 2020 level. Recreation, cruise park, operations, museum, library, and town editing. Decrease of 29 to 255 from 2011. Environmental health, garbage, and recycling. Increase of 39,024 for 2020 level.
On the other page. Other side.
The final impact to the budget will depend of the direction given by council in an attached spreadsheet. The 2020 approval budget is presented for comparative purposes. The budget bylaw must be adopted by May 14th, 2021. Recommendation conclusions that council will receive the budget proposal of general government, public health, and welfare, recreation, environmental health discussion. Respectfully, Chris again. Seconder? Seconder, please. Second. Go ahead, Christopher.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm just going to print off the general government section, but I was going to go through it live with council anyway, so while that's printing, we can begin. So what we're seeing here, and as the report mentions, I've got the 2020 column for comparative purposes. So this is the forecasted budget for this year. We are looking at a notable increase in 2021 of, I believe, about $46,000, if I remember from the report. Yeah, 46,126. And that would be the result of a few different budget lines. One being here the general government wages. The union contract expired in 2021. We received no communication from the union as to intended dates to renegotiate or enter collective bargaining. However,
Can you move your cursor?
oh yeah, sorry. However, that also means that the union members did not receive any cost of living adjustments in 2020. I highly suspect when the negotiations begin that there'll be a retroactive request for that. So part of that increase in the general government wages is a forecasted retroactive increase that we have to pay out to the staff here this year. And then additionally, the computer costs were increased slightly to match what the actuals came in at the end of the year. We've seen an increase in the administration contracting consulting line, and that's just for engineering and accounting support and various other things. And then I also input a $10,000 increase into the legal budget for 2021. And that's most of it. The rest is basically a percent or two increase over what 2020 was.
Sure. Have to go.
Can you tell me the revenue that we bring in a 365 year, like, we're saying we need this much money as a budget, but do we have any idea how much money we have coming in?
Absolutely. So I haven't started budgeting on the revenue side. Typically, we do that for the taxation, and the process there is to budget for expenses prior to revenue, because we're supposed to budget for expenses and then set the revenue to cover our expenses. But what I can tell you is, from the budget bylaw passed in 2020, our forecasted revenue was 2.9 million, and then we did have about 3.012 million forecasted as revenue for this year from last year's budget.
Yeah, 'cause we gave a forgiveness last year too.
Yeah, correct. So that would be this line up here, the general municipal tax line, and that number is where I got the figures in the fire department survey that the taxes only cover 9% of the total municipal expenses.
So where do we get that $3,012?
Well, it comes from some of these lines, Councillor Smith. So parcel taxes, which are the frontage taxes for water and sewer.
No, where do we get the money? We don't bring in $3 million.
No, we don't. Not in taxation, you know.
Everything.
Everything,
Grants?
yes, that's the sum total of all the different revenue sources.
There's grants.
Yeah, fair shares,
Fair
or
share.
Peace River Agreement's 1.1 million of that.
That was online today too, that we didn't get fair share. No negotiation or nothing's been done with the fair share.
The fair share happens automatically.
Oh, I know, I realize that, but there's misinformation being put out there.
Yeah, if anyone's suggesting we're not getting fair share, I
Yeah.
have no idea where that's coming from.
Yeah.
Would be an awful lot tougher if we could get it.
Yeah, and in fact, we absolutely got it for 2020, and it was, well, the work we did through BC Statistics there a number of years ago, our fair share is up almost $200,000.
Okay, $3 million. Fair share, but fair share is supposed to go for capital, is it not?
It is supposed to, I'm not sure I'd quite put it that way. The literature, the language in the fair share is that it's supposed to be used for capital expenditures and not operations. But because our taxes are as low as they are, we have no choice but to use it for operational purposes, or we couldn't cover the expenses.
Okay.
So that was on the revenue side, guys. We're still looking at setting the rates for general government expenditures. Is there anything there that council sees that
Legal for 2020 was 25.
the budget was 25,000, and yeah, with everything happening this year, we put $10,000 in there of additional.
And the audit went up $2,000.
The audit typically goes up a couple of percent a year for inflationary measures, as do most things, you know. And council will notice in that budget presentation and in the columns going forward, I have a formulaic 2% that accrues things going forward, you know, natural gas.
Is that $1?
So how come the grant writer went up from $4,000 to $14,000 per?
Yeah, good question. In order for us to have received the grant for the grant writer support, we have to have a minimum expenditure for the grant writer's service. And if we don't have that, we don't qualify for the grant.
And we have to buy all the computers doing?
Nope, that 49,000 is the remote software and systems management.
For Maze?
Partly Maze, but also for our IT service provider, just the general network management company there, Nortec.
And when does their contract go up?
I have to double check. Yeah, don't know off the top of my head.
Or
Have we, Maze has already been input, we're using it?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
totally,
We've had maize for a number of years.
But you
That's
still
all,
gotta buy
that's all
upgrades.
we've ever used. Yeah, and there's an annual fee for maize as well.
Well, that was good to me, Chris.
And a lot of this stuff, folks, is sort of mechanical. I mean, stationary, a janitor contract, it's a fixed number. I just input what it cost us and, go forward.
Tom?
We have elections in 2 years, you don't have anything budgeted then.
Yeah, we do, right here.
So that's for, I thought that was for this year, for
No.
our by-election.
Oh,
Do we have anything budgeted for the
Yeah.
by-election?
good point.
Yeah, don't forget bylaw.
Right, because I built this before,
That's what I thought
Yeah,
the $8 was, because I didn't see the year, sorry.
yeah, no, you're absolutely correct, Councilor White, so we should probably input $2,500, if not $3,000 there for by-election expenses, I would assume.
Does council not make $10,500? Is their check not $10,500 a year?
What line you?
I mean, council expenses.
Oh, that's not the council stipend line. The council stipend is included here in the mayor and council indemnity. This is council's discretionary account where you've in the past used for special grants and things of that nature. Yeah, that's not the council stipend thing.
So if me and Dawn wanted to hold supper or something for somebody,
You could voice a
Take that
motion
money out
to
there?
draw it from that account. Yeah.
That's what we did the last time.
Yeah.
just making sure it's the same.
I did reduce council travel, of course, but with COVID being a thing, it's unlikely we're gonna be going to any of the conferences.
Zoom is going to be too handy.
So Chris, with this extra money that we are saving from our festivities and stuff like that, from last year and this year, why can't we take that money and buy the draft plans for the firewall? Since it's already money that we have.
Absolutely, Your Worship. The, so that would be over in this section, and those are the printed copies. Oops. So, environmental health, public health. So that would be in here, in the recreation section. So council will notice a substantial decrease in recreation costs for 2021 versus 2020, and the bulk of that is in the Canada Day.
So Canada Day and special events was 2020. So that's what, 1060?
Yeah.
And then we didn't budget anything for this year.
I budgeted a small amount just in case we wanted to do something, I don't know what.
Canada Day, like, I don't understand why we've taken this on and put it on taxpayers. That isn't what Canada Day was all about in this village ever, up
Because it was
until
the
the
hospital.
flood.
It was the hospital that did Canada Day.
Oh yeah, I'm totally aware of that, because I do live here,
Yeah, so.
and have for
now
over
we have
50
to take it
years.
over.
Yeah, like, I understand that part.
Did you want it to go to Dawson?
No, she's
I
asking
didn't go
about
for St. John, anywhere.
Or bring some people here? Chris?
Thank you, Worship. And so maybe just to clarify there as well, of that Canada Day budget, we do get an annual Canada Day grant for the years in which we've done it. But using that 9% taxation metric from over here on the revenue section, I would struggle to make the statement that we put it all on taxpayers, because taxpayers only contribute 9% of the revenue. So of the $45,000 annual expense for Canada Day, the taxpayers are paying for less than $4,000.
And, I mean, this was a volunteer-based celebration. And it was absolutely spectacular. It brought people from everywhere to go down to that park and involve themselves. It was a wonderful deal. Those people don't exist anymore. They're not doing that. That money is gone. I mean, we even got some of their money doled out to us. Yep.
those people
It-
don't
it's-
exist anymore.
Pardon?
What people don't exist anymore?
The
Volunteers.
people, the volunteers, that put on Canada Day. The foundation no longer exists.
Okay, that's what you're saying, okay.
Exactly. And the
Right,
foundation
all
was the one who did Canada Day. All we had to do was create a parade, and it was a great day. And it was a community event in that respect, right?
Chris?
Yeah, thank you. And it's difficult to say that the volunteers don't exist either, Councillor Hubert. With all due respect, the foundation volunteers might not be doing it, but as it stands right now, it's the staff that's volunteering to put that on. So for example, Mrs. Stokes, myself, her husband, my kids,
Mayor?
Oh, sorry.
you know, so.
No, that isn't what I meant. I meant for the foundation.
Yeah, okay.
And putting that money to, I'm not reading from here, and I should be. That's why I have notes, people.
And you'll recall the last couple of years, well, you know, obviously not last year, but we've, with like a lot of municipalities, we've really struggled to get volunteers.
Yes.
You know, we had to put calls out and, you know, ask community groups using the community center that, hey, yeah, you can use a community center if you actually help us out with, and, you know, in 2019, we got really good results with that. But in those other years, like I say, you know, had it not been for the spouses of staff and the children of some of the staff, we wouldn't have been able to put it on. We wouldn't have had the people to do it.
Yes, times are changing, aren't they?
Yes.
We just don't have that pool of people that have that opportunity. I mean, it used to be stay-at-home moms and whipping up those pies and getting that beef ready. The butcher at Caldwell, that was down, oh, actually,
I've been
yeah.
there, done that one.
So Chris,
Yeah.
can we continue?
Yeah. So, yeah, and sorry, I jumped ahead a little bit just to answer your question, Your Worship. But yeah, certainly that money hasn't been spent and it's decreased now. But in the workings of the overall budget, there have been some offsets in the other departments for increases, so.
Volunteer banquet, we haven't never done it.
That was one of Barb's dreams, she was supposed to work with Sandy on it.
So would I be safe to say that the admin budget is okay with the inclusion of $3,000 for this year's by-election?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, very good. So yeah, back into recreation and the other couple of departments. So recreation, like I say, same thing. We've got some operational money in there for Poos Park and then general recreation expenses. The library amount is in there. The museum amount is in there. The museum requisition amount this year is.
Chris, excuse me, how about the walking trail? Like we're gonna put walking.
That's later in the capital and special projects portion. Yeah. So and the museum, and I have both of those budgets. I didn't include them in the agenda package, but I'm happy to share them with council if you want. But I verified the numbers. So the library is presenting a 1% increase over the previous year, and the museum is asking for about $12,000 less because due to a lower usership, they were able to not spend all of the money from last year. So good on them. Okay, now, so that's that one. I'll scroll right to the top. Public health or environmental health is one of the areas where we're seeing increases, but you were asking about the garbage truck earlier, Councilor Hubert. Essentially what we're seeing now is because we're contracting out the garbage service, the cost of that service is spread out into operations rather than the upfront cost of having to replace a $350,000 or $375,000 garbage truck. So the operational side of it, of course, you know, is reflected in that, and that's this line here, the annual garbage contract. So now that we've tested that system, it seems to be working fairly well. The resident complaints and then people that have missed have dropped right off, and so the system works, but it still comes back to you guys. We still have to make that long-term operational decision as to are we contracting it out long-term, or are we going to buy a new truck and go back to having the staff do it and absorb all the maintenance and repair costs of
Staffing.
and staffing, of course, as well. So yeah.
How could we have garbage wages?
Yeah.
There still is some amount of wages for staff. For example, when we were doing the garbage audits, right, the staff were, yeah. So just contracting out the actual pickup doesn't totally absolve us of any wages related to garbage and recycling.
And we've put money away for budgets, or for bylaws and stuff that we have to create.
Any of those we have over in the capital and special project plan too. And that's partly why I upped the contracting consulting line in the admin budget. Yeah, Barb?
Recycling.
Yeah.
I thought recycling, we had that covered, we didn't pay money out through grants or that when the recycling first came in.
Yeah, so that's true. And there's a line in the revenue section where the gas tax grant is directly tied to the cost of doing the recycling pickup. So we fund the recycling activities through the gas tax, but that we still have to show the expenses that we incur over here. And this line, garbage contract, does include all of the pickups. So it's recycling and garbage, the 6 collections a month inside that line. I just haven't broken it out.
And how much gas tax do we get?
$250, wasn't it? And then we got more, a little bit more. It was $250, and then we got $70,000 or $80,000 more.
Yeah, that's the small communities grant. They're 341 for what we budgeted last year.
Okay.
And that all goes to what?
Various things, but part of
So
it
it could go to engineering
it
plans.
could as well. Those engineers plans you're referring to, Your Worship, they can come anywhere from general rev. We don't need to create a link.
No, I know, but if you're gonna,
Yeah.
you know, if we're not gonna have a Canada Day, why don't we use the money for that? You know, just, it's justification,
Yeah.
not just pulling the money out of the bank.
Yeah, potentially. And then the last one is the animal control and the bylaw, which really hasn't changed all that much other than a small
So,
decrease.
what are bylaw benefits?
Those have been removed for 2021, Councilor White,
Okay.
because yeah, all of that's up in here now in the animal control officer contract.
Okay.
These lines were for the previous year when the fire chief was doing bylaw off the side of his desk,
Okay.
so yeah.
Then make sure we were paying more than even.
Yeah, no, and that contract
You never know.
amount has stayed static here, so. Yes, and I did up the cemetery repairs just for some of that stuff we want to do with potentially the fence and the gravel and make it look a little prettier.
Okay.
Are you guys okay with those 3 sections
Yeah.
as well? Yeah. Pretty good. On that
So I
note,
want 8.5 recommendation
sorry?
We're doing 8.5 recommendation. The
Um,
council review the preliminary capital special projects list
Yes.
for final
I'll stick
determination.
in for that.
And we've got too many of them.
Yeah, we have way too many of them, Your Worship.
Who's reading? First and second? Can I get a seconder done? So, we need crack sealing for sure, right?
Well, and here's the tricky part with this year's capital and special project list. As with all years, I mean, the staff only recommends stuff that has merit and then at the end of the day should be worthwhile doing. And then in the beginning of the report, we have the 5 items of the changes we made from the last meeting. But this now results in 26 special projects that essentially we're assigning to staff. And there's 2 people who manage that off the side of our desks that, and I did make a point.
Well, the trailer, there's equipment here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That can come off of there. I mean,
So,
those are-
yeah, some
that'll
of
break
it's
it down.
Some of it's purchasing, and the beauty of purchasing is, well, it maybe takes a week or 2 to just shop around, get a couple of prices, and then
Yeah.
present the options to you guys, but we're still talking time.
But the needs assessment, we don't need, the housing needs assessment, we don't need that. The regional district is still doing that, right?
Yeah, but Same thing, they're going through it, but all of those calls for the housing needs assessment and presentations cross my desk before they come to you guys.
But if that comes to the regional district, you're still gonna get the call, so
Yeah.
you have to do it.
So that's one we probably can't eliminate. And I gotta say, I did put that note in here because in my opinion, and I shared it with, with council in some of the previous years and reports, the level to which staff have stepped up the capital and special projects and infrastructure game over the last 5 years is nothing short of phenomenal.
Yeah.
In 2015, we had 5 capital and special projects on the agenda, and last year we had 18. So, but.
So what ones do you not want us to? Boundary extensions, we don't need to do that right now.
The boundary extension when we did push that off, so that's already in the 2020 column. The crack ceiling could be something we could push off another year. That's a pretty big involved project, in one more.
But how bad are the cracks?
Yeah, they're out
The
there,
school's bad.
but one
Need
more
that.
season isn't necessarily gonna be the end of it, but, the remove dead trees at Coos Park, we do that annually for a safety item. We don't want branches and stuff falling on anybody, so,
So paving, sewer fix on 48, 49, and 54. Yes? No?
so those can go another year. We can continue to gravel them as they get potholy a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Fire department compliance audit, that has to be done.
Yeah, the chief strongly recommends.
Well, yeah, it's given. Streets and lanes paved, where we can add the 60 for another year. Just keep adding until we have
Yep.
a whole lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Remove the dead trees at Coos Park, that has to be done.
Yeah,
And the cleaning the water reserve, that has to be done.
that was strongly recommended by the director of public works.
Yeah, so those two for sure. Housing needs assessment, well, you're gonna get here if you like it or not. And then officer Coos cutout, do we really need that?
Yeah, that one's not bad. That's a couple of emails just to get me to buy in one, so that one's okay.
Okay. Do we need to update our truck plan?
So the strategic plan expired in 2020. And it's not necessarily completely mission critical that we update it this year, although a lot of the grant documents and whatnot often ask us for copies of the strategic plan as well. But we could push that one off another year.
Okay. I hate this to leave here. Draft development procedure manual.
That one's already underway, and that's why it's highlighted blue.
Okay. Boundary extension, well, we probably won't get boundary
Yeah,
extension.
we've already pushed that one to 2022.
Update zoning bylaw.
That one, yeah, we recommend that one too.
Okay. SPC cat.
Underway.
AC. The fire hall.
Fire hall is without air conditioning right
Yeah,
now.
they need it.
Yep.
Stars
Stars
donation.
donations done, yeah.
Safety coat for the fire hall, that needs to be done. The flat deck trailer.
We've done without it for 30 years, we could push it off another.
Okay, John Deere tractor.
The John Deere tractor,
It's on its last day.
yeah, the director's really recommending we look at upgrading that this year. It's got some issues.
So we can't look into leasing?
That's part of it, Councillor White. Yeah, we may not actually go ahead and write a check for it. I mean, we've certainly got the cash reserves to do it, but once we pick the unit that will work for public works, I'm going to ask for both costs, and before we pull the trigger on it, I will bring it back to you guys and give you both those options.
Okay. And then asset management phase 2.
That we could push off another year, but
Sandy's got that?
Are we moving it?
Yeah.
okay.
Stand up for village office?
Yeah, I just hold it on.
No? Sandy's shaking her head no, move along.
Well, we do want them, but if we have to go another year, then we'll.
Okay. Study drainage?
That one was your request, your worship?
Yeah. I think we should do that.
Okay.
And increasing ditch maintenance, you were gonna,
That was, there's no numbers in there, so that was declined in the last meeting.
and tourism video? This is the final year for it?
Yeah, correct.
Or,
Should we not see it before we put it in our budget and pay for it?
the video.
Again.
I thought council had requested that,
Yes.
Rob,
It was for the delegation,
yeah,
not today.
no.
But Rob
Do you know
was
where
for
that is
delegation.
in the
Yes.
works then? Has he agreed to? has he agreed
Can
to
you
do it?
reach out to him, Sandy, and ask him to do a delegation, please?
I'm okay leaving it there, and, we won't write the check until council gives us the green light. So.
Okay. Public Works food truck?
That one is a real hard yes. The Dodge Ram 1500 is well over 200,000 kilometers, and it's starting to have major mechanical failures.
And you're looking at releasing it now?
Yeah, as well. Yeah. And we've been talking internally, we're probably going to try to move that one to a crew cab just for a little bit better, a crew cab 3/4 ton long box.
More stuff.
Yeah, just more utility.
They realize it's like driving on a piece of wire. Marlene, you had something to say?
No.
Who's Park walking trail?
The Post Park walking trail is one I'd actually like to really take on. We have a shovel-ready plan for that from a couple of years ago that I
And
worked
then
on
with grant?
with Urban Systems. Yeah, correct. I believe we'll be able to easily marry that to a COVID-type, business grant this year. Yeah.
Okay, and then the rest three is the blue, so you've already started. You started those, right, Chris?
Yes, sorry, my apologies, your worship. The sound system, no, I just copy and pasted the line down.
Well,
so-
you need a sound system, because I can't hear with any.
And I've often heard those comments about the videos too, that it's difficult to hear everybody, so.
So could you bring back Tracy on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't find the sound that difficult on you.
I do. I can't hear you. You sound
Be cheaper to get hearing aids. Much cheaper.
No.
Only a few thousand compared to.
Okay,
You can get ones that high.
are there anything last minute that council hasn't brought up that you'd maybe like added to the list? This will be the last time the list comes in front of you until it's in the bylaw. Good.
I don't
Okay.
know, was there something I said to you?
Dude,
I got it on here if you mentioned it, so. Okay,
as long as I get my gravel for the back alley by the post office.
yeah, that's
How long
operational,
did you
so.
do?
Yeah, I got it.
How did you do
Yes. Yes.
Cool,
So
okay.
8.6
Thanks again.
resolution.
That council received the mutual aid agreement for discussion and approval.
Chris, did you send this out to legal?
The mutual aid agreement?
Yeah.
No.
Shouldn't it go out to legal?
If you guys want me to send it,
Well, I think
we
we should
can
go
do.
legal.
Yeah.
Just because we're not lawyers. Okay.
Okay.
Table it until,
Yeah.
can I have a motion? Can I make the motion that we table it till we see legal?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Correspondence, oh no, where are we? Anybody seen any correspondence? Tell Blair and the crew that they're doing an outstanding job, tell the bylaws that they're doing an outstanding job.
9.4, should we send a letter of support?
Yeah. You can make that motion? You can make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Two?
Send a letter of support in favor of the laid-off hometown employees and industrial workers.
Okay. Are you gonna second that, Marlon?
Sure.
All in favor? 9.5 recommendation? There's nothing. Turn the page. So council received the news release for Northern Development Initiative Trust. As information, Chris, did you see that?
Sorry, your worship, I was making a note there. Which item?
The Northern Development Trust, page 148.
148. I gotta refresh my memory on that one. Oh, yeah, that was just the report advising of various grants that had been awarded to other municipalities.
Yeah. And then there's 9.10 that council received street lighting rate application update as information, Sandra? Yes?
It's information.
Are we not gonna do that with BC Hydro, update the lighting around here?
Yes, they are. We're just not on the list yet,
Okay.
or at least they're not to us yet.
Okay, nobody sees anything else. I see 9.15, community recovery, section 5. This little paper here. Building our community of practice through information and resource sharing, emotional trauma information supports the methods and sources for use in community recovery for Indigenous and non-Indigenous communities. That's March 24th. Where's this at, Chris?
I'm not sure, Your Worship, that was a late item. I haven't,
This is all they sent. So I'm guessing, I believe it is a Zoom call.
Well, I'm already doing courses, so.
Pardon?
I'm already doing courses, so okay. So if somebody else wants to do that, that's fine. And then we have late item 9.16 from Danielle Beach. Dear Village Council, my name is Danielle Beach and I am a local resident of Kooskoobee. I am writing to you today in regards to the Kooskoobee Fire Hall expansion. Conversations about the fire hall expansions have been abuzz amongst the local in Kooskoobee for the past few weeks, myself included. Through these conversations, I have noticed that a lack of information and speculation is playing a key role amongst residents. It is also my understanding that the information we need to make such a huge decision, i.e. overall cost, effective or non-effective to future taxes, etc., can be asserted without first hiring an engineer to draw up plans. I am also aware that the cost of the engineering is around $160,000, which is quite a large amount of money, but it is not also true that thanks to COVID-19, the village has more available funds due to the cancellation of large local events such as July 1st and the Christmas Truck Light Parade. So this brings me to why I am writing to you today. Could we not use the budget money available due to the cancellations of these events to fund the cost of the engineer? From watching previous council meetings online, I know that there is a demand for the expansion, not only from our local fire chief, but also from the regional district. I feel that it would be a wasted opportunity not to take the time to look into the expansion while you have access to these extra funds and government grants. I would also like to add that I am aware that Councillor Smith and Councillor Hebert are putting forth a survey for the local community. I feel that it cannot be objectively answered without all proper information, which again can only be required by hiring an engineer. A survey can only be an effective tool if participation are informed and understanding the information involved. I would like to thank you for taking the time to read this letter, and I hope it finds you well and in good spirits. Kind regards, Danielle Beach. Thank you, Danielle.
Speaking of which, how's the daughter?
She's got a broken back.
I would like to make a note on that I was under the understanding that council as a whole was looking at doing a survey. It wasn't just myself and Councillor Peter.
Or she watched the videos. I never watched the video. That's whatever's on the video.
Okay, I'm just making a note on the camera.
Chris?
Yep, thank you, Worship. Just to let you know, I did speak to Ms. Beach today regarding this letter, and I let her know that there was some preliminary information on the agenda today in the draft survey. So I believe she was going to go take a look at that. But yeah, just a little.
Thank you. I'm missing a page. Huh?
I didn't get either today.
They were both on the desk.
The move to January 20th.
Council received the
At the bottom of your
SAC
file.
report response to 2009 NCLGA resolution as information. Where did they go?
It's on the back of,
Page 5. No,
It's a ring.
what are you looking for?
She's looking for the page file.
No, she's looking for related. I'm positive I put it.
Resolution on bylaw, 11.1 recommendation.
The council received a draft bylaw number 1028, 2021, fireworks regulation for discussion.
Can I second it?
Second.
Discussion.
Now I've lost 181.
Sandy, it's too big. No more. No more big
So I asked my bylaw friend to create a simple bylaw for the fireworks regulation, and this is what the said person came back with.
Here, you got it?
Chris?
Thanks, Your Worship. And referencing said person and Mrs. Stokes, I know the bylaw and animal control officer worked extensively on this to get it
So can we
in
just
front of
adopt
council. Not in draft form as it is tonight.
If you're okay with it.
Well,
bring it
Give
back.
me our first read.
Bring it back.
Yeah, tonight was just the draft, so we can bring it back if you're okay with it as is for the first 3 readings, and then wait a couple of weeks and do the final one.
Yeah, but it's not numbers. I'm lost.
Yeah, it's
It's great.
page 182.
It's page 181.
I know, but I was looking for it on the agenda.
It's on the back of, right there.
I think it looks good.
Did your papers all fixed up for you?
Yeah.
Right?
Tonight on CTV News, which I only heard what the headline was that somebody was lighting off fireworks and a block caught on fire. So we have people who enjoy using fireworks at whatever time and wherever they would like to. And I really feel that we're just looking for something to happen with these fireworks.
Well, they're gonna light them off or not. So if at least we get the bylaw, we can actually find them.
Well, I think we should ban them, period.
They're gonna light them off anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't make any
The
difference.
rules don't apply to some people.
No, they don't apply to them, but we should ban them.
They're always going off
But
down
we still
around me
should
all
have
the time.
Pardon me, Bart?
We still should have a bylaw in place,
Yeah.
because that's our due diligence.
Yeah,
If a fire is caused,
Chris?
Yeah, thanks, Your Worship. And to that, the bylaw could be one of either of those things, right? So the bylaw here speaks extensively to classes of fireworks, and these are prohibited, these are allowed with a permit, for example. But if it's council's wish, a bylaw outright banning everything is a possibility as well.
Because if it
to the-
did catch us on fire, then
Yeah,
what?
to your point, Your Worship, I fully agree. A lot of the folks having Roman candle fights in the middle of the street aren't the ones that go reference the bylaw on the village's website before they decide to do that.
I think that the permits should be higher.
No, she didn't.
Well, $10.
Well, that doesn't even roll out fire every time.
so everybody is gonna run out and get their permits, so they can all have fireworks, because now you give them a stamp of approval.
But it has to be approved by the fire department.
They can't get a permit unless the fire department knows.
That doesn't matter, you can have a backyard campfire and you gotta let the fire department know. Fantastic, I'll pay my $10, not a
Well,
problem.
that's what Donna's saying, let's raise it up.
I don't care if you even raise it up. I really don't think that we should be having fireworks within our community at all hours, everywhere,
Can't we have,
just for fun.
can we have it for special occasions, Sandy?
I thought there was a section in here that spoke to that.
I can't remember. But I don't want to ban them completely. Because there's dates, like that would mean that on July 1st, we can't have fireworks. We can't ban them completely.
Well, I don't want to do that too.
I think we could override that.
Well, not override it, but, you know, if the
It's
bylaw
not-
banned them outright, we could easily put a line in there that said, with the exception of the Village of Goose Coopy special events run by the village and supervised by the fire department.
But why
And
can't, why
that's
can't
really-
we pay the fire department to supervise their fireworks? Like, why can't these people pay the fire department to, you know, for the fire department to generate money? If these people wanna have these fireworks, pay the fire department to stand by.
But you talk about people who are going to say, I'm
How
going
would
to
you
do
guys,
that.
I'm just gonna do it.
And then you get a big fine. Chris?
Thanks, Your Worship, and I respectfully suggest that that's one more layer of load on the volunteer fire department.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly, we're gonna hire them out.
On the permits, would they have to say when they're gonna light them off? Because the issue has been, they're at all times of the day, whenever. When they get a permit, do you say, well, it'll be Friday night at 8 o'clock, or?
They have to disclose what type of fireworks or pyrotechnic special effects is gonna go off, the date, the time. They have to give their property name as well as their address
Yep.
and a phone number for contact. They have to have an approved permit from the fire chief. So I would assume there's questions that fire chief will ask, and if they don't answer properly, they won't get a permit.
Would they, who would, monitor this? Like, who's going to,
Bylaw officer? Would that not be part of his job?
I'm
Yeah,
It's
yes,
in the bylaw.
no, and that would again sort of be one more layer on the bylaw officer. If part of the permitting process was, well, you had to go stand on the street and make sure that this, in any permitting process like this, like the fire, you know, just a regular burning permit, once the applicant signs to the conditions of the permit, it's incumbent upon them to follow those. So, you know, so when somebody, you know, lights a campfire, we don't assign a staff member to, you know, sort of go, okay, make sure the fire doesn't
So
go past that.
we're going to
That
follow.
1.5 meters, so it, you know, and in a case like this, if council wanted the bylaw officer to do that, then we may have to enter into negotiations with a contract amendment, because supervising fireworks was not one of the stated, you know, the stated roles of the bylaw officer.
Or
to announce when fireworks, would that be the staff's issue? Because that is one of the problems of all of a sudden fireworks going off. Is the village office gonna say there's gonna be fireworks at 8 o'clock on Friday? Or, like, that's why we're asking what time and that. So people aren't surprised by the fireworks.
in the dog.
Yeah, but number
Dogs.
4 and number 6 enforced.
It's so complicated, I mean.
It is
how
way-
People say,
Most of
I
the
mean-
people are ignorant.
pardon?
People are ignorant. They're letting them off at 11, 2, 3, 10, 9, right beside houses, like it's ignorant.
Yes, very much so, and that's why I think we should just ban it. I mean, there's only 350 households.
It's a lot of paperwork,
Hmm?
a lot of paperwork.
Just ban it.
Yep. Hence the
We'll make the
bylaw.
motion then to ban it then.
I make the motion that we ban fireworks within the municipality of Goose Coopy. That
All
would
in
be
favor?
Second.
Or second? All in favor? I'm not, but these guys can.
No.
It's 2-2.
It's 2-2, the motion fails.
Defeated. Yeah.
You're voting yes?
Mhm.
We gotta cover our asses somehow because they're gonna do it anyway.
But then we have a legal,
This is legal. We have a bylaw. Okay.
Stuck on my skirt.
So that brings us back to this. Are there any portions of this then the council, so to your point, Councillor Smith, if council wants through the application process to us to put out some type of public notice, you can certainly write that into the bylaw, but, yeah.
that would be nice.
We're assuming that, you know, that's for the folks that are doing it loftily. You know, and that definitely opens up the village office to, oh, it was fireworks at 10 p.m., why weren't we notified? Well, because those didn't have a permit.
Well, this looks good, so
It's a good, it looks, the bylaw looks really good. I think that
they just
the
need your
permit
address
should
and
be
all that on
higher.
there, on the permit. Right, everything needs to be on there. Sandy?
I just noticed that there's no time constraint
No,
in
there
here whatsoever.
And no later than 9 o'clock at night.
So we need to put something in here regarding times, I think.
With our noise, but it's 10 o'clock, isn't it?
11 to 6, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Now, the issue with fireworks is they need to be set off in the dark.
Yep.
So in the summer months, we're
Right.
after 11 p.m.
10:55 they can set them off.
Yeah.
As long as you're done by 11. As long as you're done by 11.
I mean, we even run into that issue with our,
To
with
go
our
with our
cannabis
noise
days, right?
bylaw.
So it coincide with the noise bylaw?
Yeah.
Is that sound right?
Yeah. Now, what about the fees? Do you guys want these fees in?
Yeah, I'd say $50
For which one?
for the permit.
So consumer fireworks permit, it says 10. The display fireworks permit 75, and pyrotechnics fire safety plan review 150.
Yeah, 50, 75, 150.
Sorry, 50.
75.
Yeah.
And then 50.
And then it's
Yeah, that
got fire protection. See, he's included that fire protection for pyrotechnics. So that's when the fire department would go out and, like they do for ours, they supervise. He's put a price in here of $480 per hour
Oh, okay.
for the supply of the equipment and personnel providing fire protection with a minimum 4-hour charge. So,
Yeah, awesome.
it's kind of a deterrent.
And just the CAO report, does it have one?
Just when put in here on page 202.
2.2 action items. We're gonna go down to everything.
Yeah. I keep doing this.
Mine's all messed up.
It should be one of the last pages.
I don't know.
Look on the other side, look on the other side. Your other stack here.
205?
It is. Cool, it's great.
Yeah. And then, page.
Keep going. There you go, right, oh, on the other side of that one. There you go.
What did you want done with this electronic sign at school?
The question at that meeting was if it could be moved to where they could see it better. And we weren't sure whose it was.
It is ours, but,
The library. Isn't it the library?
And I heard it was the PAC at that meeting. So we don't know exactly who was.
yeah, I mean, the libraries, yeah, because what, isn't it Wine for Bucks that did that?
That page.
They have total control of it, but where do you move it to?
On the
Right, that was one of the
Can
questions.
you move on the one at the end of the portal?
No.
And then you also need to get a hold of Chad Anderson to see if there's anything on our bill. Because we're supposed to hear.
Yeah.
Can we put it on the outside of the community hall then maybe? But you're not gonna be able to
You're not
see it
gonna
unless
see
you
it.
drive down that one.
But the museum could probably buy it from them because they wanted a sign like that
But where do you put it?
on the museum.
We have a sign policy that says no. We have a sign policy that says no.
But I thought they wanted electric.
Yeah, but that's.
They
where
looked
the
into it and
problem
it was too expensive, I think.
But if they could buy that one.
No, it's just finding a place to put it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, talk to the museum. Maybe they would want to buy that off of.
Well, if and when they get busy on this edition,
Then we can put it on the.
then we can,
edition.
I think that we can wait for
Yeah, just hold on.
the sign.
So can I take that off then, for now?
Yeah,
So Chris, have you heard anything for Northwoods clean out? You didn't send me that information. I asked you over our meeting with Isaac.
I'm still trying to find it, Your Worship. I'd sent that out twice last year, the year before, but I'm having trouble tracking down.
You don't have it in the file?
Not that I can find it yet, so I was trying to find it through the email.
And it wasn't just me that decided that we didn't have that. I really liked how Richard put that on his post.
Yeah,
But I was the one that,
my recollection of that vote was that it was a unanimous vote of council.
Yeah. so, okay, one of those. Treaty land entitlements. Everything's fine? Anybody see anything? And you
The
get to the
policy
ground
for
for the
flying
CN?
flags.
We don't qualify.
You don't?
No, it's for nonprofits. And he looked into it for us.
Oh, good, nonprofit. Cool. Okay, anything else?
Hours and hours on that.
Where's the what?
Papers that are closest meeting.
Where's your name?
We're getting lost. Couple special projects we looked at, counselor, or we don't need, because we already did the counselor special project. Yeah. Counselor calendars. Nothing? Reports, Counselor White.
Okay, we had from PRD, we had a doctor and a polypharmacist put on a presentation that I thought was really, really great. It's called Shared Care, and it's for people that are over 45, over 65, that use 5 or more meds. And what they're doing is they're checking up on their meds to see if they really need to use them, or if something's been just given to them all the time and and they were only supposed to have it for a certain amount of time. And they gave us a video of this older guy that was 85 years old and who had surgery done on his shoulder a couple of times, and he couldn't raise his arms. So they had done the shared care on his thing and realized that he was having cholesterol medication, right? And they took him off the cholesterol medication, and within a week, he was able to raise his arms up. So they're checking on all these people. They're doing it in Dawson and Tumblr and Chatham. If you're interested, go to your pharmacist and see if they're doing the shared care. And they will check on your meds to see if you need to be taking them or not.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and we're getting $1,500 for their cemetery budget to begin every year in 2021. The fire expansion thing, that we looked at that already. And the other ones, we're doing nothing else.
Nothing else?
No.
Counselor Smith.
I attended a Zoom call with NEAT. It was sponsored by the North Peace Chamber of Commerce, and it was discussing economics and environment and issues around housing, groceries, jobs, and that. There was no final conclusions. They're going to bring back what they collected. They put us in different groups of 3 or 4 people. And it was kind of a speed dating thing where they would put a question down and we would have to put, and then they would get us all together. So it was quite interesting, really, because it impacts just our area.
So did any of you go to fiber optics, because you two were discussing that last council meeting, that one of you were going to go to the fiber optics? Did either one of you go? No. Okay. Is that it, Barb?
Yes.
Councilor Beaver?
I just have one question. Is there any planning for indigenous awareness for training for our staff and council?
That's what this is right here? That was the way that was brought up? Chris?
Yeah, thanks, Your Worship. I did reach out to the province on that front. and they provided a couple of recommendations. So if council wants me to put together quotes from those recommended companies, then a motion to go forward and do that, bring it back would be okay.
You should contact the one at the regional district. You should talk to Sean about the guy at the regional district. That they're.
Yeah, I can add that one to the list for sure, but I need a motion to go ahead and source some quotes and some prices.
I'll make that motion that we research what programs are out there.
Can I get a second here?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Councilor Heber?
No.
And I did a meeting today with, interagency meeting with, there wasn't very many people on there today, was there, Chris?
14, I believe.
Was there 14? Because Louise wasn't on there. But it was interesting, they just introduced everybody, and yeah, it was pretty good. And that's all I have to say. In camera none, rise and report, and I will have a motion to adjourn.